Bouchard. If you haven't read the book, I encourage you to do it. It's a history of the Berlin Turnpike. And if anybody can remember the Berlin Turnpike, let's say 40 years ago, it's being cleaned up now, but you'll still see its pockets of motels and some very seedy strip bars, etc. But actually it was the mega of Connecticut, and somewhere, and Ray can explain it even better, in the United States, one of the worst trafficked areas for girls under the age of 18. Ray and I were successful on a couple of pieces of legislation. I hope Ray talks a little bit about two of the changes we've made, and then introduce you to another special guest that's here tonight. But before I do that, one of our other actresses, Melissa, would you stand up? Melissa's going to be in the movie with us, so give her a round of applause. And have the pleasure of knowing her boyfriend. Again, this is a very serious movie. This is not going to be glamorized like the movie Taken. This is going to be a very direct hit to people of exactly what's really going on and what's happening to young kids all over this nation. But a better expert to talk about it is Ray Bouchard, the author and our screenwriter for the movie Human Traffic and the Berlin Turnpike. Ray.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to this, and thanks to Jim. He has been a great friend for a number of years, and it was so great to work with him on the legislation we passed in Connecticut just a couple of years ago. Some of you remember the New Haven Advocate, Fairfield Advocate, the Hartford Advocate was owned by the Hartford Current, and the back pages of those newspapers that had the escort ads, the massage ads, the spa ads. Well, not only are those ads gone because of legislation that Jim and I worked on, but haven't noticed, so are those newspapers. The year after that, we actually changed the definition of human trafficking in Connecticut. And one of the reasons we did that was, if you read the Berlin Turnpike, the book I wrote a few years ago, I'm not going to go on the whole story. It's a 500-page book. All right, I will. Page one. It tells the story of Dennis Paris, who ran an escort business, who used the New Haven and Hartford Advocates as his only source of advertising. And through this trial that took place in Hartford in 2007, it was a federal trial, the first of its kind in America. No one knew about this trial was happening. No one covered it. No one knew how to cover a human trafficking trial that didn't involve kidnapped girls. It didn't involve girls from outside the country. These were girls from Vermont, New Hampshire, and 2 were from East Hartford High School. And they all worked for this escort service. So through this trial, we learn how this crime of commercial sexual exploitation works in the United States. Right now I'm updating the book because after, I'll tell you at the end, it's really no surprise, after Dennis Paris is convicted and goes to jail, his brother was arrested in 2010, Jaquan Paris, for doing the very same thing, only more violently. He was a guerrilla pimp. He ran the business out of the same motels in the Berlin Turnpike and the Silestein Highway up in Weathersfield and Berlin and Newington. Only he used Craigslist to advertise. Now he had a partner. His partner was Pearl Kelly Paris, his wife, who was also a Connecticut State Trooper. In uniform, she would do tricks, she'd recruit girls, she'd take photos, she'd post them on Craigslist. Now Craigslist stopped their adult service advertising in 2010. Most of it migrated to specific websites like Adult Friend Finder, which is a big website that also owns ChristianMingle.com. There's no end to the ironies in this business. It went to Backpage.com and it went to Facebook, and that's a whole entire story we can talk about sometime. But the amount of escorts, child pornography on Facebook is enormous. And this is, when I do give lectures around the country, this is the part that shocks people most, is that Facebook does very, very little to prevent this. But the other place it migrated to was Backpage.com. And we hear now that human trafficking is in our own backyard. I've heard a few people say tonight, I can't believe it's in Connecticut. So I went to Backpage.com on my phone just a few minutes ago to the New Haven section and put in the keyword in the escort section on Backpage.com and put in the keyword Milford for October 1st. This is just today. There are now 31 listings of girls for sale in Milford, Connecticut right now in Milford, Connecticut. This one reads, I'm fun, young, supernatural, cute, very friendly, and available now. You deserve a girl who's going to spoil you and treat you like a king, and I am that girl. If you're ready to have a great encounter, then don't hesitate to give me a call. So phone number, location, I-95, exit 39, Milford, New Haven, Milford. So not only is it Milford, she's off the same exit that I took to get here tonight. So it's not just in your backyard, it's in your hand. Anybody who's holding a phone right now, that's how close human trafficking is to you. That's how important this movie is. And that's why I'm so grateful to Jim and his team to putting this together. So, and thanks to everybody who's doing the music. For some reason, this book has inspired a lot of music. Some of the great stuff you guys done here tonight. I don't know if you've heard the song Sex Queen of the Berlin Turnpike. It's a great one. Tom Guerrero did another song. Some of you may have seen the play that it inspired by the Heartbeat Ensemble called The Turnpike Chronicles a couple of years ago. So, hopefully, I'd love to see you get involved in the production of this movie. It's a very, very important one. There have been other film documentaries and stories about trafficking. This one's different because it brings it home in a very unique way, a very powerful way, a non-sensational way. There's no reason to sensationalize this. It's just bringing a voice to human beings that we have allowed to be dehumanized. No one's ever thought of them as humans before. They're just hookers, they're just whores, they're just prostitutes. No, they're human beings. No matter if they're 14 or 40. They're human beings and they need to be set free. So thank you for coming out. And I want to introduce, I'm sorry, no clapping. Lisa, who worked with victims of human trafficking. In the Dennis Paris trial, the federal government, Department of Justice, had 4 witnesses against him. They all were girls who had worked for him. How old was Jen when she worked for him? 16. She was 16. And Melissa was 14?
I'm not as familiar with
Yeah, Melissa. So Jen was the key witness in the trial against Dennis Paris. Lisa was literally her caretaker who took care of her, protected her. She's a victim advocate, a victim specialist, and really the only expert in this room. Far more of an expert than I am, because it takes a unique talent and gift to be able to go out on the streets and work with someone who lives there in the middle of the night and then take them into your home, care for them, and that's what Lisa does. And she's an absolute hero. So if you're going to applaud for her, because she's absolutely incredible. Part of the video you're seeing tonight, there's a section called Snow Bunny, which is some footage I took in Hunts Point, New York, with the New York City Police Department. If you go on YouTube and just, if you do a search for the Berlin Turnpike and Snow Bunny, you'll see the entire sequence. Going up to a girl like that who's doing a trick in the back of a trucker's cab and getting her out and talking to her takes a special and unique talent. Very, very few people, I've only met less than a half a dozen people who can actually do it very well. And that's what Lisa can do. So do yourself a favor so you know what happens in most cases. Go on YouTube, Snow Bunny, the Berlin Turnpike, and spend 10 minutes and you'll learn just about everything you need to know real quick as to why this film is so important. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
Okay. All right, well, listen, we have another musician coming up. Nick interned for me for, Nick, how many were we going, 3 years already? 3 years, yeah. 3 years already, and it's funny all the connections. I won't bore you with all that, but Nick's dad actually plays in this band, and it's a long story. Someday we'll tell the story. Hopefully when we're successful at this event, we can brag about how we all met. But I found Nick, he just interned, and I found found out his background and what a talented young kid he is, and what a wonderful human being. So I really, really took a liking to Nick, and he's very talented too. Nick's gonna, Nick, I hope I'm saying this right. One of the songs he's gonna be playing tonight will be on the opening scene, actually the intro to the movie. It'll be, as we all have done, you know, with our kids or with your nieces or nephews, videotaping your, you know, 2 or 3 year old daughter. And it's a picture of this young innocent child playing just like kids do in the backyard, and mom and dad proud of videotaping it. And then obviously the tragic story of that young life and what happened to her not even a decade later. Nick's song, so if you can picture that as we're as the movie opens up, you'll hear this music in the background as they're giving the credits in the front of the movie, as you usually see. This song will be playing with this young girl that's innocent playing in her backyard. So Nick Santavasi, if you would come up, and let's give him a round of applause.
If music is the fourth primary color, I suppose that I could be the air. The summer showed up to my door in winter. My best bet would be I wouldn't fear. And again, summer wouldn't care, because the rain is falling down from the ground again, from the ground, because the rain is falling down, it's falling from the ground. I don't know what I'm scared. Blackbird sings to me while I am sleeping, and it must be to guard me in my dreams, and help me float along this narrow river, and help me hush away such evil things. This is why I hide in sleep, because the rain is falling down from the ground again, from the ground. I said the rain is falling down, it's falling from the ground. I don't know what I'm scared of, and I'm not coming home. No, I'm not coming home. Oh, I'm lost. Oh, I'm lost. 'Cause the rain is falling down from the ground again, from the ground. I said the rain is falling down, it's falling from the ground. I don't know what I'm scared.
Kim, how old are you?
I'm turning 14 next week.
She's 13. See, I know she's trying to push 14. Most of us know once you pass 35, you wish you're 13 again. So she's 13. She's talented young lady, and Nick, he's a talented young man, and I just hope you listen to this song that they wrote. That's going to be on the soundtrack and the movie. It's a great scene. They don't even know the scene yet. I know the scene. It's called Reach. So, ladies and gentlemen, Samantha.